We're always so happy in commercials, aren't we? And so, gone are the days when we would collectively gather up and down aisles, stocked full of films in video stores, that smelt like fresh plastic and pre-packed popcorn, designed by people who clearly didn't buy into the whole "don't judge a book by its cover" ethos. And give it a few more years and this concept of people actually leaving the house will look completely crazy. How ironic too that in their own promos, they envisioned a world where movies would magically appear all around us, as though somehow loaded up like rows of guns in the Matrix. And what do you know? The future really is more like the Matrix. But unfortunately for them, it's also more like Netflix. The way we watch films has of course changed, but those movies are still there, floating away in many intangible forms, and it's our job to pull them back down once in a while to remind ourselves what we used to love and sometimes overlook. The first film we'll dust off is the highly enjoyable yet critically panned 1986 comedy thriller Jumpin, Jack Flash, a film that'll no doubt get you nostalgic for old PC monitors and glass block windows. Whoopi Goldberg plays Terry Doolittle, a fairly relaxed bank computer transfer person, although I'm still not sure exactly what her job role is. Despite being pretty good at it, she'd rather spend her time casually chatting to people in other banks all over the world, in what has to be one of the earliest uses of instant messenger in film history. And let me quickly point out, she's a whiz on computers and this is 1986, so she's pretty much Steve Jobs. Terry's computer desk overflows with personality, standing out against the background of corporate grey. American workplaces in films are rarely presented as anything other than oppressive regimes, leading to the strong-minded protagonists who are infectiously rebellious, desperate to escape, and just also entertaining to watch.
You will represent this bank in a professional manner, or you will not represent this bank at all.
Needless to say, of course, her boss isn't happy with her, and would rather she be a silent drone like everyone else. In other words, professional. With the opening images of Terry struggling to find motivation to get up in a freezing New York apartment still fresh in our minds, the film sets that all too familiar tone of dissatisfaction with modern life. And I mean, who can't relate to that at times? And so when a mysterious message comes through on her computer one night, she of course takes the bait, and off we go into the often comedic encounters that the rest of the film has in store for us.
No, I work in a bank. I work on a computer. All of a sudden I get all involved in this and I'm not quite sure how to get out of it.
What makes Jumpin' Jack Flash such an enjoyable film is how genuine moments of terror sneak up on us, breaking away from the confines of what is essentially a family-friendly movie, scaring us with household abnormalities.
Amateur night, Miss Doolittle, is over. Get off the stage before you get carried off.
While critics focused on the film's hollow clichés, which I believe are appropriate as they reflect upon Terry's obsession with movies, I look instead at a love story entirely one-sided. An early scene sets the film up perfectly, as we see the look on her face as she prepares a meal for one, walks past the dead-end sign that we subtly notice, and sits in front of the comforting soft glow of Tales of Manhattan, a film about how misfortune can lead to truth. As far-fetched as the film may be, who wouldn't go out of their way to desperately seek the connection we needed in an ever more distant world? Today it seems we go even further, hoping not for human connection at all, but that of our own computers. With all of its flaws and critical trappings included, this is a film about what happens when you mix loneliness with dreams, how far we go to fill in the gaps promised to us by fantasies. And it's also a true testament to Whoopi Goldberg, of course, who is essentially just talking to herself for 90 minutes. It's obviously not high art, and nor is it trying to be, but if you like Terry and you want to take the bait, then run wild with the title placement, which couldn't give you a clearer connection to an earlier film from Germany, also warning of the dangers of sidestepping the heart to maximize working hands. On the next episode, we'll remind ourselves of how the 80s broke new ground as we spin around in a daze in my favourite Scorsese film, After Hours.